Hello, my name is Dr. Sue Kinsey, and I'm here to talk to you about the business programs that we offer in Plymouth Business School. I'd like to be able to share with you some information about the programs, about why I think you might want to come and study in Plymouth, and some of the key features as well as the options available to you for studying with us if you're interested in business. I'm about to share with you my screen, which includes a PowerPoint presentation of some key information that I think you need to know in order to be able to come to a decision about whether to come and study with us. So I shall just do that now. So I'm going to talk to you about the range of business programs that are available to you to study at Plymouth University. Before I tell you some of the detail about the programs themselves, I'd like you to know some of the key things that underpin everything that we do in the design and the teaching of the business programs that we have available to you. And three of the key things that are really important to us when thinking about what our programs should offer is firstly that they should prepare you for the future world of work. We know that in the current climate, it's particularly important to have all the right knowledge that you need to be able to get the jobs that you want and to succeed in the workplace in the future. Towards the end of the presentation, I'll tell you a bit more about the kind of jobs and roles and the kinds of organisations that our graduates go into, as well as some of the further study options that they've pursued. But we want to start to prepare you on the journey for ending up where you want to be in terms of your future career. So that's really at the heart of our considerations when we're thinking about what our programme should include. And that includes not only core knowledge, obviously appropriate knowledge is important, and especially in business, there are a range of different areas of knowledge that we know are essential to be successful in organisational life, but also to develop some of the skills that you need to be successful in the future roles that you undertake. And included in that is something that is really quite significant for us. It's the idea that you need to be resilient to succeed in business. Now more than ever, we know that the world of business is subject to a range of different influences, impacts from the external environment, and businesses themselves need to be very resilient in order to be able to survive. We also know that people that work for organisations need to be able to demonstrate the kind of resilience that will get them through any kind of changes and enable them to adapt and be agile and nimble in the world of work. So that's one of the things we focus on too. The other thing that we think is really important, we know that when studying business, you will probably choose a programme that has quite a general appeal rather than specialising. But we also know that people who choose to study business often have a very particular interest. And so our programmes give you a range of options to be able to qualify with a business degree, but also some specialisms under your belt as well. And you have the opportunity to tailor much of your study with us in ways that reflect your own interests and your future career aspirations. So that's very important in our consideration of what we offer on our programmes to you. There are some key things that are at the heart of all of our business programmes, and we believe that these are vital to be able to prepare you for the world of work, whatever kind of career or organisation or role you are ultimately destined to take up. And so at the heart of all of our business programmes are the themes of working globally. Few organisations operate in an entirely local context, and all business takes place in an increasingly global work. So we want you to be aware of what you need to know in order to thrive and succeed in increasingly global organisations. Additionally, we're very keenly aware that organisations need to be able to be held to account about how they behave. We know that generating wealth, generating profit is phenomenally important for organisations, but we also know that increasingly key stakeholders are interested in the kind of values that organisations have, whether they behave ethically, whether they operate in transparent ways that are subject to scrutiny. and whether or not organisations have a concern for sustainability in the world, whether that's environmental sustainability or social sustainability. And these themes are particularly important in the business programmes at Plymouth University. We also know that few organisations thrive and succeed and develop and grow without some kind of entrepreneurial orientation. And that doesn't simply mean setting up new businesses, which is often what entrepreneurship is mistaken for. It means looking for opportunities, being able to create new ideas, being able to innovate within organisational contexts. So that's very important in our business programme design. There are some key areas, and I will talk in a little while about the modules that you will study if you choose one of our programmes, but there's some key areas that we know are increasingly important in terms of the knowledge that you need to be equipped with to succeed in future working lives. And those include digital business. We are all keenly aware of the rise and significance of the digital environment for successful business, and especially how marketing, for example, engages with the use of social media in the digital environment. Clearly, that's not the only aspect of business that does so. We also know that leadership and effective leadership in organisations and the management and operation of organisations is absolutely essential, as is the effective management of the human resource people in organisations. And finally, we know that having good information, being able to access and manage appropriate data, how to handle data, how to interpret data is also key for appropriate decision making and organisational practice. So all of these things will be included in your degree programme if you come and study business at Plymouth Business School. And along the way, as I mentioned earlier, we'll also be helping you to develop the kinds of skills you need to be successful in delivering the knowledge that you acquire as part of your studies. One of the very special things that is a key feature of the business programmes at Plymouth is that we work very significantly with live organisations. We know that acquiring knowledge and developing skills is absolutely essential, but we also know and appreciate that the opportunity to put that knowledge and those skills into practice with real organisations can really help to cement your learning and your development. And so we have a programme called our Inspiring Futures programme, whereby we give opportunities to all business students to work with live organisations from their first year of study in the university here. I will talk in a while about what some of those opportunities are and where they feature as part of our business programmes. It also includes the opportunity to undertake a placement working with a regional, national or local employer, and that can vary from a very small organisation to some of the largest multinational corporations in the world. Again, I'll talk in a while about what kind of placement opportunities our students tend to undertake. And we also believe it's important to give you the opportunity to develop a particular area of specialism within the broad business heading, if that's something that you're interested in doing so. We don't expect you to know that from day one of your study. So the flexibility of our programme design means that you can choose what your specialism might be, should you choose to have a specialism, of course, once you're here and studying with us. So here's some information about the programmes that we have available to you. There are 3 business programmes available at the moment. The first is the Business Management programme, which is the biggest of our business programmes in Plymouth Business School. There are 2 options for studying business management, and one of them is really quite unique. There is a 3-year programme, which is a conventional honours programme, where you study across 3 years with the opportunity for a placement between your second and final years of study. At the moment, that is a year-long placement, but there are also opportunities for undertaking summer internships, for example. The other option is what we call our 2-year fast track programme. And it's quite special because there are very few programmes like this available in the UK, but you have the opportunity of completing a whole honours programme within 2 years of study, hence the name, the fast track programme. The reason it's interesting is It gives you the opportunity to go on to further study or to get into the world of work sooner. And of course, there are reduced study costs. It's a programme which is often taken up by people who maybe have already worked and want to achieve their qualification sooner rather than later. And it's a fairly intensive programme, but it's delivered some of the most successful students from the business school in recent years. There are also some options to study business management with a foundation year. So if you don't perhaps have the entry requirements or qualifications that you need to progress straight into an honours degree programme, you can take up our business management with foundation programmes, and that's either foundation plus 3 or foundation plus 2 years. So that's the business management programme. The other 2 options that we have available are the BA International Business, and one of the very unique things about this programme is not only that it has a strong international orientation, but that you have a year abroad between your second and final years of study, and I'll say a little bit more about that in a moment. The final degree option that we have available is the BA Business, and it shares a lot in common with business management, but offers some more optional study choices in the final year, as well as the opportunity to undertake either an individual research project or a group consultancy project with a real business, a live business, in the final year. So I'll say a little bit more to you about some of the key features of these 3 programmes. All 3 programmes share a common and core first year, which gives you a great deal of flexibility in the respect that if you join one programme, you can easily transfer to another if you decide your interests lie elsewhere between these 3, because all of the modules are the same in the first year. But as you can imagine, business being a cross-disciplinary subject, the first year aims to introduce you to the range of disciplines that are relevant for the business context. So we have modules that include an introduction to business, a marketing module, a finance module, an economics module, an introduction to people and organisations, and also an entrepreneurship module. So this is a very broad-based set of modules that will provide you with some of the key knowledge that you need to be able to progress your studies further. But we like to make sure that these modules are very contemporary. So as I said, within the first year, there is an opportunity to work with a live organisation, with a group of other students delivering a consultancy project to the satisfaction of the key stakeholders in the organisation. And it's a really fantastic experience for our students in developing skills of engaging with organisations, of problem analysis, of decision making, of finding appropriate solutions, and of delivering recommendations that are actually relevant for the future success of organisations. We think that's quite an achievement for first year students to be able to do so. And our experience of this tells us that the students themselves enjoy it, acquire some great skills, but also that the organisations they work for are often phenomenally impressed by the abilities and the solutions that students develop for them. So that's the common first year for all of the 3 programmes: Business Management, International Business and BA Business. In the second year, there are some core programmes, some core modules, and some specific features that are relevant for each of the programmes. Business management begins to tailor what the manager will do as part of your studies. So what I mean by that is, we look at the role that managers might be required to undertake in the future, the kinds of areas in which leaders will operate in the future, and give you some applied opportunities. So you will study operations management, project management, people management, and management decision making, for example. In the final year of business management, you will also have the opportunity to undertake a specialist pathway to cater to your particular interests. And at the moment, we have pathways in marketing, international management, leadership, and leadership in human resource management. But if you want to have a general qualification, you don't need to choose one of these pathways. But as I said, that's the flexibility that we offer to you as part of your studies here. So the International Business Programme is very similar in Year 1 and has some overlap in Year 2 with the Business Management Programme. But there is an international focus to the programme which starts developing from Year 2. So you will undertake a very particular global enterprise module. And the thing that really distinguishes this programme from others is that at the moment it's a compulsory placement. So the expectation is that all of our international business students will undertake this in Year 3 of study. And that can be either a study or a work placement overseas. We guarantee you study opportunities in a range of countries around the world. So we have a lot of partnership agreements with other universities in North America, in Canada, in European countries. And you can decide to study overseas in order to build and develop your global awareness and global perspectives. You can also apply for work placement opportunities overseas in your 3rd year, and our Careers and Employability Service will help you to develop the CV that you need and to look for the right international placement opportunities and then share them with you so that you know which ones you might be able to apply for. The BA Business Programme is very similar to business management, as I said, in Year 1. There are slightly more study options in Year 2 in terms of choices that you have of modules. And then in the final year, there's a slightly wider range of optional modules available for you to choose from if you do BA Business rather than business management. So it's a more broad-based programme. As I said, in the 1st year, all 3 programmes will cover exactly the same modules. And that's about providing a baseline of knowledge and information around the world of business. What do the key aspects and the key functions of business include, for example? In the 2nd year, this is when our programmes tend to become a little bit more applied, so looking specifically at what you might do once you're working in organisations. And then in the final year, all 3 programmes give you the opportunity to study contemporary business issues and practice. One of our core modules is contemporary issues in management. And then you have the option to choose some specialist modules whilst at the same time undertaking a research or consultancy project. So there is scope for individual research, individual consultancy, or working on a group-based project, again, for a live organisation, a real organisation. And this is the opportunity, again, for you to brush up your skills in working with real organisations to apply the kind of knowledge that you need and that you've acquired for being successful in business subsequently. We find those are phenomenally useful experiences for students to be able to add to their CVs when applying for jobs subsequently, to actually have some real experience of working on significant projects with organisations to share with future employers. And that idea of employability is really important to us. As I mentioned earlier, we know that you will all be wanting to find jobs or set up your own businesses once you graduate. And we believe that our programme designs give you the opportunity to build the CV that you need to be able to do so. As I already mentioned, there is a placement opportunity on all 3 programmes. It's compulsory on international business and it's optional on business management and BA business. Our Careers and Employability Service provide a whole range of workshops, of development opportunities to enable you to get the kind of placement that you want. And our evidence tells us that lots of students who undertake placements find it much easier to get employment once they graduate than those who don't really have any work experience. In fact, a good number of students who return from placement return with a job offer available to them once they graduate. And I'll give you some examples in a moment of the kinds of organisations that our students go to for their placements. As I said also, one of the key ways we think we build employability is by enabling you to develop the kinds of skills that you need. And so the live consultancy project is core for all of our business students in the 1st year. And it's then available throughout a range of other modules when you study. So our project management modules, for example, give you the opportunity to work with real organisations to help them plan and execute particular projects. And that's true across a number of other modules. And as I said, we have a key work-based coordinator who manages this Inspiring Futures programme to ensure that we are constantly providing a series of really excellent opportunities to work with a range of organisations, from charities to public sector to private sector, and small, medium and very large enterprises that our students work with. The placement opportunities, we don't find you the job. We don't think it would be helpful for us to do so. So we will advertise a whole range of placements to all of our students. And as I said, we will try to develop the skills and knowledge you need to be able to get the placement that you want. You apply for those placements, and then we support you whilst you're out on your placement. So you will have a placement tutor who will stay in touch with you whilst you're undertaking your work placement, and ensuring that you're getting the kind of opportunities to develop the skills that you need and some useful work experience. So we make very sure that you have a proper development program, a mentor whilst you're working out on placement, and a good series of experiences rather than being sent to the kitchen to do the washing up, for example. Our students go to numerous organisations. Some of them are small, so you might not have heard of them. But these are some of the larger organisations that our students have undertaken placements with in recent times. And you can see they are across a range of sectors. Some of them are UK based, some of them are international. And one of the things we also offer is the opportunity for students to set up their own business and actually run a business during their placement year. And we currently have a couple of students who are proving really successful in doing this and developing a whole set of entrepreneurial skills and entrepreneurial knowledge whilst they are doing so. The kinds of roles our graduates go into from our business programs include all of the kinds of work that you can think of in the general business context. So our graduates go into general graduate management training programs, the kinds of roles whereby you might be managing a team, you might be managing projects, but also some more specialist roles as well. And our graduates have gone into, for example, project management, marketing management, retail management, human resource management, supply chain, procurement, finance management, and operations management. Those are just some examples of the kinds of areas that our students go into once they graduate. And again, the list of recent employers is as long as your imagination, but some that we know that very recent students have taken up include Babcock in HR management roles, in project management roles, the procurement office for the Ministry of Defence, which is a huge enterprise, as you can imagine. Nationwide Building Society, working as a key liaison person between the IT team and the business management team. NHS, and particularly the HR training programme in NHS, which you might know is considered one of the most desirable graduate training programmes. We've had graduates join the civil service, graduates joining local authorities. And then some of the other examples up here. One student went into project management in Network Rail. A current student of mine is about to join Admiral Insurance as a graduate trainee. The list goes on. So we know that our graduates are successful at securing some really excellent opportunities once they leave us. And we believe that's partly because of the kind of knowledge they've acquired whilst they've been studying with us, but also the kinds of skills that they've developed and their view of the world, their orientation to the business world that they develop whilst they study with us. We think that that's what distinguishes our graduates from many others. Some graduates will go on to further study as well, and many graduates continue on to master's programmes here at the University of Plymouth, but also studying in other parts of the UK and around the world. And those master's programmes can include very specialist programmes like digital and social media marketing, which is one of the master's programmes we offer here, but also some more broad and general business qualifications like international business. We have very good employment and further study rates amongst our graduates, and we're proud of the fact that we send Plymouth graduates out into the world equipped to be able to be successful in whatever role they undertake, but also in applying for and being successful in master's study if that's what they choose to undertake once they leave us. I don't want to say anything else to you at the moment. Other than that, I really hope that you will take the opportunity to find out more about Plymouth University. We have some open day live opportunities where I would love you to come and have a conversation with some of our existing students so you can hear about their experiences. Obviously, I give you the official version, but I'd like you to hear what our students have to say, because I believe that they will be able to verify to you that they do have some excellent experiences here with us, and they can share with you what it's like to study at Plymouth. In the meantime, if you would like to get in touch with any of the programme leaders on the business programme, then the relevant programme leader names are here. And these are the key contact details that you need for each of the programme leaders in those three areas. So that's myself for business management, Dr. Tazawa Nawaz for international business, and Dr. Rani Nagib for BA business. Please don't hesitate to email us, and we very much look forward to hearing from you in due course. Thank you for listening today. I do hope that you decide to apply to Plymouth University and to come and study with us. And I will leave you with those contact details and hope to meet you again very soon. Bye.